to a bunch of All-Stars this weekend about you and your game. There seems to be just like a universal respect for you, not just for your numbers, but just how you kind of go about your business off the field. What's kind of your reaction to hear that there is respect outside the Yankee clubhouse for you?
There's no greater honor. That's what it's all about. Especially your peers who grind every day just like you do. You know how hard this game is, and the amount of work you got to put in to be, try to be the best at your craft. And the guys at this game tonight are the best. So to hear that from that group, that's what it's all about. Just having some respect for your peers, because 30, 40 years from now, they're not going to remember their numbers. They're going to remember how you were, as a teammate, as a competitor, and how you treated people. So that's definitely the highest honor right there.
How do you approach these All-Star games now as one of the veteran guys?
I try not to act like a veteran. I try to act like it's my first one. I'm still that rookie, just going to my first All-Star game, and just try to have fun. Get to know a lot of these guys that I compete against on a daily basis, and just kind of pick their brain. And if I can pick any tips up, try to pick up some tips. But I think mostly just about enjoying the experience and having some fun.
Did you pick anything up from anybody this weekend?
Yeah, just really talking with different guys. I talked to Kirk with the Blue Jays and Jonathan with the Rays, just kind of about their hitting approach, because they're two guys that can hit the ball over the field. Jonathan had a walk-off homer against us earlier in the year, so just kind of talking to him about what he thinks at the plate. And I've seen Kirk, since he came up in the league, just spraying balls all over the park, and just what he does behind the plate. So it was kind of cool to pick those guys' brain a little bit and just get a couple tips.
Aaron, did you see the tribute to Hank Aaron? Did you get to see that? I know you were out of the game.
Yeah, I missed it. I was packing some things up, but I know it was definitely special. Having Billy here and everything, that's pretty cool.
Alan, how was the Joe Torres pregame speech to you guys, and something that he said cheer you guys up?
Yeah, it was great to have a legend like that, Joe Torre, in there. Booney spoke for a while just about how special this game is. Go out there, have some fun. Joe Torre kind of did the same thing. Talked about he was in 9 All-Star games as a player. Managed 4 or 5 of the things. So it was pretty cool just to hear him, see him talk. You can hear a pin drop when someone like that speaks. Man, he's one of the legends of this game. Talking about just as a player, but then as a manager, what he did in this game. Just having him around, it takes me back to the early 2000s. That's for sure.
Aaron, even though you are a vet to becoming an All-Star, do you still get that same feeling when you run onto the field under the bright lights that you experienced as a first-timer?
Yeah, definitely. I even got it today. After our top of the first, kind of run out to right field, you kind of feel like you're floating out there. You feel the crowd, you feel the energy, the music's bumping, and even especially after those intros, having Ludacris and those guys do their thing, that was pretty cool. So. That feeling never gets old. Hopefully my last All-Star game, I have that same feeling. I probably won't be moving as fast, but I'll definitely have that same feeling.
What's been your favorite moment, the last couple of days with this whole experience? What's been your favorite moment? If you can pinpoint it.
It's tough to say. I go back just seeing the first-time All-Stars, just kind of walking to the clubhouse, how they're interacting with guys, because I kind of put myself in their shoes. I remember my first one and kind of you're a little nervous, you kind of think you don't belong, but at the end of the day, everybody in that room's an all-star and they deserve to be in there. So that's what I try to do. I try to go around and talk to those guys and just say, hey man, you're an all-star just like everybody else in this room, man. So just enjoy the experience. So seeing those guys for the first time is always the coolest thing.
When you do look back to the first All-Star game that you ever went to, what kind of perspective does it give you just knowing what you've done since then?
I try not to think about it. Honestly, I just try to maybe when I'm done playing, I can lift my head up and kind of look back at the career I've had and some of the special things I've done. But, if I stop now and kind of look at what I've done, I feel like that'll slow me down a little bit. So I just try to enjoy the moment, just try to be as present as I can be. I think that allows me to go out there and perform the way I need to. So it's, I think the biggest thing, it's kind of, time has flown by since my first one. It feels like just yesterday, 2017, playing in Miami. So. Now you fast forward 2025. I've been around the game for a minute now, but we'll talk at the end of my career, kind of how it's changed since the first one.
Aaron, you talk about the newcomers, the first time in the All-Star game. You have Hunter Goodman playing for the Rockies, who are on pace to have the worst record in history. What would you say to some person in their shoes?
Oh, well, Hunter, when we played him in Colorado, I told him, man, keep swinging it. I looked up on the board, saw his numbers, what he was doing. It was incredible. He's one of the special young players in this game. And I think the biggest thing is just stay focused and keep just trying to, don't worry about the past. It doesn't matter what your record is. It matters about what you can do in the game today and just keep moving forward. Because if you sit there and dwell about, hey, we didn't have the best first half, then you're probably not going to have the best second half if you're thinking about that. So just any advice I'd give him is just stay focused on the present, win today, and then get ready for the next one.
Aaron, for a kid watching this at home, what is the message for the kids watching this game at home, dreaming to be a major leaguer?
Keep working hard. Just a short couple years ago, I was that kid watching this game at home. So anything's possible. Just keep working hard. Keep doing good in school. I think that's the most important thing. Having two teachers as parents, they always push me to do well on the field, but also push me to do well in the classroom. I think that helps you get the best out of what you want to do and kind of reach your dreams.
Skin said that he wanted to strike at them everybody, and then the batters want to hit home run everybody. Did you have a different approach compared to the regular season?
Oh, Paul Skeens is a tough one. He's one of the best pitchers in the game. He's starting the All-Star game for a reason. So I was just trying to go up there that first inning and just don't strike out. I wanted to see a pitch and then try to put something in play. Kind of get the inning going. But he jammed me on that one and into the inning. So we'll see him down the road, man. He's an incredible pitcher. Love watching him do his thing. It's cool to see him. How far he's come in such a short amount of time, just getting drafted. So. Always just wish him nothing but the best.
Aaron, for Fox Sports Mexico, Randy Arozarena said that he's excited to play with Mexico, the World Baseball Classic. Are you excited to face him or to play the World Baseball Classic?
Yeah, I can't wait. WBC is going to be special, especially getting a chance to go play against Team Mexico. That's going to be. They got a lot of great ball players. I'm not too excited to see Randy step up to the plate because he's had a lot of big moments. Definitely against us, the Yankees, playing against him over the years. So I definitely see some big moments in the WBC in his future. That's for sure.
Aaron, you were the last champion of Yankee, the home run derby champion. What do you think about Jazz? What happened with Jazz?
Oh, it's his first one. It's a big moment, but I know he's always ready for the big moment. But I think he got a base hit in the game tonight, so he was just staying ready for the All-Star game. My guy's an All-Star. He says he's going to do it again next year if he gets 20 homers. So I think he'll be on a revenge tour for next season.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.